So you're either in Tucson or you're thinking about coming to town soon and you're wondering what there is to do while you're here. Well, you're in luck because in today's video, we're going to talk about some things that you can do in Tucson pretty much anytime. And we're also going to cover some events that may be happening when you come to town. So let's get to it. Hi, I'm Dustin Smith. My wife Jennifer and I have helped hundreds of people just like you move to and from Tucson, Arizona. If you're new to this channel and want to learn everything from A to Z about living in Tucson, AZ, then click subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Tucson, Arizona. So whether you're moving in 12 days, 12 weeks, or 12 months, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email so we can help you make that smooth move. So we get the question all the time, and not just from people that are new to Tucson, but even some people that have been here a little while, what is there to do in Tucson? So we thought this video might be helpful if you're trying to figure out something to do. So we're gonna cover not only things that you can just go out and do pretty much anytime if you're prepared, but we're also gonna cover some events that are definitely worthwhile and uniquely Tucson. So let's get right into it. So if you've watched our channel before, you may have picked up on the fact that hiking is one of my favorite activities. So the first thing that I'm gonna recommend doing in Tucson, if you're up for it, are gonna be hiking activities. So a few of my favorite hiking spots include Catalina State Park. So Catalina State Park isn't just good for hiking. There's also some beautiful campgrounds in there, but that's gonna be closer to like the Ora Valley area on the western side of the Catalina Mountains, and there are just endless hiking trails in there. Certain times of year, there's also some good running water. One of my favorite hikes in Catalina State Park is Romero pools. So if you're here around either monsoon season or after snow melt and you're hiking that area, Romero pools is definitely worth checking out. And another very popular one, it's a family favorite, I love taking my kids to this one, is Sabino Canyon. So Sabino Canyon has beautiful paved trails through it, and one of the trails actually crosses a stream at several points. Sometimes the streams aren't running very well, but during a good chunk of the year, especially again monsoons after the snow melt, you're gonna have several areas where you cross the water, or areas where the water even pools up, that are great for swimming. So it's unlike anything else in the Tucson area. You're going right through a canyon with these river crossing. You keep an eye out for wildlife. And since you have those beautiful paved trails, you also have some good roads that go through there. Every once in a while, they'll have like a full moon tram ride that you can do through there. So, even if you're not up for a real hike, it's still a place that's great to visit. You can do the tram ride and still go enjoy the beauty of Sabino Canyon. And for the third major area that I recommend hiking is actually Saguaro National Park. So we do have Saguaro National Park East and Saguaro National Park West. My favorite is gonna be the East. Both of them have beautiful trails, but the East one kind of has a lot of trails that go into the Rincon Mountains. So you have a lot of different topography in the area, and just overall different scenery depending on where you wanna go through that. You can actually go all the way around the Rincon Mountains and come at that from the east side of the Rincon Mountains and go up to the top of Rincon Peak, which is, a very challenging but rewarding hike where you get these 360-degree views and you can just basically see all of Tucson. It's a very hard hike, but very rewarding. As great as hiking is, maybe you're looking for something a little more structured and a little less wild. And I've got a few great options for you right there too. Topping that list is gonna be the Sonoran Desert Museum. Now, Sonoran Desert Museum is a great family-friendly attraction, a must-see if you're in the Tucson area and you've never been there. So the Sonoran Desert Museum is actually world recognized. It's just fantastically managed and put together. It's more than just a museum. You've got wildlife exhibits, you've got an aquarium, you've got botanical gardens. There's just so much to do there. My favorite are going to be like the live animal attractions that they have there. So reptiles, how many different types of rattlesnakes are out there, but you actually get to see a lot of these rattlesnakes, you know, behind, you know, nice piece of glass where you're safe. Insects, you know, tons of things that you're going to see out in the desert if you're looking for them, scorpions, spiders, things that Jennifer wants to stay away from for sure. And then of course you have mountain lions, Mexican gray wolves, and a really, really cool bighorn sheep exhibit. So definitely check out the Sonoran Desert Museum while you're in town. Another great place to visit while you're in the Tucson area is Tohono Chul. Now, Tohono Chul was named by Travel and Leisure magazine as one of the world's best botanical gardens. So you have these, you know, beautiful, well-maintained trails and gardens that weave through like towering saguaro cactuses. There's a lot to learn about like the different plant life in the Sonoran Desert, and it's very conveniently located in Casa Adobe, so easy access when you're visiting Tucson. And definitely another one of my favorites while you're visiting Tucson is the Pima Air and Space Museum. Now the Pima Air and Space Museum has over 400 aircraft on 80 acres of land. They have different tours available. You can do like a self-guided tour and just walk around and, you know, read different things about different aircraft. The indoor hangars are heated and cooled, so year round despite the weather. That's something you can go do anytime. Now, not everything you do in Tucson has to be a unique Tucson activity. So my next recommendation in town is actually going to be golf. So Tucson is home to over 40 golf courses and attracts a lot of people because the winters aren't very harsh here. So year-round golf opportunities, doesn't matter when you come, it might be a good time for golf. Of course, during the summer, you can hit those temperatures over 100 degrees, over 110 degrees at times. So you may be doing a little less golf then, or you'll be trying to hit the greens very early in the morning. Another thing that people like to do year-round is the farmers market. Because of our climate, because of our location, we have, you know, I-10 going east to west, west to east, so produce crossing every way. We've got I-19 coming up from Mexico, so we have a lot of produce crossing through Tucson. We have a unique food experience here. The farmers markets are absolutely amazing. If you're looking for local produce, I definitely check that out. And going right along that is going to be food tourism. Now, in my opinion, Tucson has the best Mexican food on the planet right here, but it's not just Mexican food. I definitely recommend checking out some of the steakhouses and some of the local restaurants. There's just a lot going on here and a lot to love about the culinary scene in Tucson. And we also have a great classic car scene here. So visit some car shows while you're in town, look them up. You're gonna see some vehicles that are just as good a shape as they were on the dealership floor when they came out, and some of them that have just been upgraded and maybe even a little bit nicer than they were when they were originally put out to the public. I actually have a friend, used to be a client, became a friend, who loves driving around and finding, you know, vehicles in people's backyards, and he loves buying these Arizona vehicles because they're rush free. I mean, it can really be like an artifact lost in time here. He sometimes takes vehicles back to Illinois and does a little bit of work to them and sells them. You know, people love the idea of rush-free vehicles in different areas. And these, you know, vehicles from the 60s and 70s are in actually, you know, great shape and just need a little bit of mechanical work and a little bit of elbow grease. Now, another big event in Tucson that pretty much books up all of the hotels in Tucson and Airbnbs, it gets really crazy, is the Gem and Mineral Show. Now, the Gem and Mineral Show here in Tucson is the largest in the world. So people are coming from not just the United States. In fact, there's people coming from everywhere in the world. We have great big tent setup, outdoor areas, indoor areas. The Tucson Convention Center has it. There's like roadside booths set up. And if you're here during the Gem and Mineral Show, you're gonna know about it. You're probably gonna at least go visit a few vendors and see what it's all about, visiting one of the main sites on that. Another great event to visit if you're here in March is gonna be the Tucson Festival of Books. So the Tucson Festival of Books is a little newer compared to some of these other events. This was started in 2009. It takes place near the U of A, and in 2024, we actually had over 130,000 people throughout the weekend show up for the Tucson Festival of Books. I mean, it's a literacy celebration. People come in and showcase different books, different vendors there. They've got food trucks, they have different things, but really it's just centered around literacy and books. So if you're here in that March timeframe, come and check out the Tucson Festival of Books. So one event that is basically just like a great sampler of what Tucson is and Tucson culture is going to be the 4th Avenue Street Fair. So you're going to have artists, you're going to have different like food trucks and vendors. The 4th Avenue Street Fair is a ton of fun, and there's actually 2 of them throughout the year. There's a spring one that takes place in March and a winter one that takes place in December. And you have over 350,000 people that show up to the 4th Avenue Street Fair. 4th Ave is just kind of a fun place to visit in general. Now, similar to the 4th Avenue Street Fair, but a little more widespread, is going to be the Tucson Meet Yourself event. Now, the Tucson Meet Yourself event has a lot of that food focus on it too. So great example, like tasting, different elements of Tucson's, culinary uniqueness, as well as the cultural side of things. So you're going to have, great events, singing, dancing. You're going to have a lot of local vendors there, and just overall, like basically like a big party, and mostly focused in like the downtown area. So another one of those events you're going to want to check out. That's typically the 2nd weekend of October. Last but definitely not least, as far as top events in Tucson goes that we're going to cover today, is the Thunder and Lightning over Arizona Air Show at the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Now, this air show actually does alternate between Luke Air Force Base up in Phoenix and the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base down here in Tucson. The next one coming to Tucson is going to be in 2025, and they have different air performances from the Red Baron to the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, which put on an amazing show. Even in the weeks leading up to that air show, they're practicing. So if you're anywhere near the Air Force Base, you're going to hear, jets screaming. You're going to see just amazing stunts happening while they practice for that air show. They're going to have some memorable airplanes on site, so you can walk through, you can touch, you can ask questions, you can do like meet and greets with pilots there. It is, just amazing. You get to learn a lot about like Davis-Monthan, about United States Air Force. Overall, just a lot of fun. I haven't really talked to anybody who said I did not like the air show, but I have talked to a lot of people that don't like the traffic of the air show. So they'll kind of avoid going to the air show because they don't want to get stuck in that traffic. If you're planning on going to the air show, it's another one of those things where, you have to be patient as you go in. They're going to have a ton of parking. I've never actually been turned around trying to go there myself. We hope you liked today's video. If you did like today's video, make sure to hit that like button. Now, Jennifer and I do make a lot of real estate related videos, and if you or someone you know is thinking about moving to or from Tucson, Arizona, we'd love to help you out. Give us a call, shoot us a text or an email so we can help you make that smooth move to Tucson, Arizona. Now, if you want to see some more real estate related videos by Jennifer and I, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you guys for watching. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.